Hello everybody, welcome back to another general reading here at the Lovers Archive. If you are new, make sure that you subscribe, you like, and let me know how everything resonates for you throughout the video. I'm always so curious to hear about people's experiences or what they're connecting with, so definitely let me know. We have Butterfly Musings coming out. Comfort, positivity, spiritual growth. I love this deck so much. The art is just so pretty and it's so angelic, so beautiful. There's a lot of like transformation, change going on here. Okay. Like this is like a transformation out of like a really weird time that you were in there for a long time. This is like era of years is what's coming through, okay? Resilience, determination, mindfulness, shell codes in reverse. What's coming through here is there's this vulnerability that you finally accepted within yourself. You're kind of like, you're allowing yourself to kind of relax and to stop fighting in a way. Not in a 1, 2, 3 as I'm saying that. It's not so much like you're, anything can happen, but it's like, you're just kind of resting. You're kind of in this restful state right now. And there, in this state is where so many of these growth, positive, comfortable, spiritual growth moments are happening. Call in the doves, transformation, renewal, hope. Transformation and renewal. I said it. I already said it. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, angels. You're in this very light, serene kind of like headspace. Like you might have just left a lot of like chaos, okay? But you're feeling like renewed. Like there's a new sense of self or like inspiration to live this way or do these things, okay? But potent passion, sensuality, purpose, power. You're kind of falling in love with yourself. I love that. That's what's happening here. You're beginning this relationship with yourself that you haven't experienced before. You're realizing just how much power you have for yourself, that you have for other people, right? People want to know you. They want to be your friends. They want to be known by you. But there's also this level of people who are kind of scared of you because of your power and your capabilities, and they know that you're capable. There's this really like big, like very soft feeling of you're just kind of like, maybe there's like some hermit energy happening. Like you're not doing too much, but you're like, I'm doing my thing. Like I'm cooking at home. I'm having my friends over. I'm going out to meet my friends, but I'm also thinking 333s. I'm saying that I'm manifesting. I'm learning about myself. I'm connecting with spirit or source. Venusian rising, new frequencies, fantasies, Libra energy. Some of you might be Libra. You may have Libra in your charts, okay? Water. There's like, you're just kind of experiencing life in a way you haven't before, and you're able to really fall into this like romantic relationship with yourself. And it's almost like addictive because you're bringing so many new experiences and fantasies and ideas into your life. You're like, well, like I'm wanting to do things I've never done before. Okay, like maybe you're going to go traveling, or you're going to do something that your friend wanted to do with you, for example, but you're like, I don't know, but now you're like, yeah, let's do it. Like, I want to try something new. Thank you, angels. I'm going to shuffle the deck. That was not a good shuffle. It was barely shuffled at all. seeing this in my mind's eye. This one too. The keeper of the pearls, innocence, sincerity, loyalty. There's this, again, like innocence, the sincerity about where you're coming from, and like these new transformative experiences that you're having with yourself. You're kind of connecting with maybe your childhood self before, you know, you experienced whatever hardship you might be thinking of right now, right? The oceanic mirror, boundless openness, infinite beauty. Yeah. This is just you've almost like stepped through a portal of growth and change. Like you might be engaging in hobbies or routines that you've never considered before, because you're like, I felt too lazy before, or I didn't understand why people would do this, but now you're like, well, I like living for myself as well. You know, you may be realizing that like, well, wow, I can show up better for my friends and family, the people that I love, better if I'm caring for myself, you know, if I'm eating well, and if I'm, you know, if I'm moving my body, if I'm doing these things, right? I can do what I need to do for my community, for me. Soft goddess era. I literally said soft era, soft moment, soft goddess era, gentle energy, heart healing support. I said it. Did I not say it? I said it. What a beautiful spread. Like, this is so nice. The heart-centered mystic, the cosmos made of stars, light leader. I kept seeing this one. I kept seeing this card. You're stepping into an energy that like is just very empowering. It's very, you know, people around you are seeing you change a lot too. Like this is an external change. It's manifesting externally. Two, 444. Those numbers might be really significant for you right now. 2727. Ooh. Okay. Kingdom of Heaven, ethereal codes, source energy, heaven on earth. We have 444 up here, and then this card is 22. I said 222 and 444, did I not? Did I not? Did I? You're getting like downloads, okay? Like some of you might not even realize that you're like experiencing spiritual downloads from God, but you are, okay? And I think it's like you're going to become more connected to that. You're going to understand what those downloads look like, feel like, sound like to you. You might connect with like a clairvoyance, a clairaudience that you didn't know that you had never tapped into before, or maybe haven't tapped into for years. Some of you have always kind of been spiritual. I resonate with this specifically because like my parents didn't really raise me around religion or anything like that. Like we didn't have any faith in that respect. It's like, well, what happened after death? My parents are just like, well, we don't know. We genuinely don't know. Some people don't think anything happens, you know, according to science, blah, 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 blah. But then, you know, there are religions, blah, 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 right? What happens after death, baby? Like, I can't even sit down and explain it to you. We still don't know, right? I have some pretty good ideas, but I have a long time until I'll find out, right? But there's just this level up that's happening here, this connection, and it stemmed from this childhood for a lot of you, okay? Maybe some of you were similar to me where your parents didn't talk to you about religion, or there wasn't like a faith within the family really, and you were kind of able to figure it out yourself, but kind of be attached to spirituality. Some of you maybe came from like a traditional religion like Christianity or Islam or Judaism, etc. And maybe you kind of were like, well, you know, there are aspects of that I connect with, because they're all very similar in so many ways. When you think about, when you hear different verses or different kind of communications or stories that are being perpetuated throughout these religions, it's like, you know, they're very similar. They are very similar. And it's similar with spirituality too, and so there are things to learn from each other. And I think for those of you who maybe did grow up around these religions, that is how you got here, because you were like, I understand this kind of almost supernatural like entity or energy in the world. I understand what that means, the concept of that. And so maybe it was easier for you to connect to the spiritual growth in this energy that you're kind of manifesting or living in right now. What's coming through is that some of you might be experiencing like, so I've been mentioning hermit mode a couple of times, and like this spiritual growth, and you're being a bit vulnerable right now, right? For some of you, this vulnerability or this thing that you've kind of left, this energy you've left, for some, it might be like your family or like people from this religion who are kind of like, I don't like this spiritual stuff that you're doing, because, you know, we kind of get a bad rap, you know, it's like, it's the occult and all of this. And it's like, yeah, baby, it is. Yes, honey, it is. And give me more of that, you know, but because there's something to be, there are these rules, right? But I think it's important for you to remember as well, some of you might need to hear this, that like, it's important we all learn from each other. There are lessons to learn from everybody. Some of these lessons, 1, 2, 3, 4, as I'm saying this, shape cultures, shape communities, societies, and that is interesting. And that's something to recognize and acknowledge and think about and learn about, right? Not shun or say no to. You know, unless people are being oppressed, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We're not talking about that. Okay? We're talking about the beauty of religion and community and belief and faith. Faith that you have been able to connect with so many other things in this life. This faith that you are now pouring into yourself, because that's how you bring more in, right? Only love may lead. Appreciation, perspective, resolution. There's a clarity that you are searching for, and you are on the path to find. And you're on the right path. Like you don't need to move astray or anything. But I think something I need to say is like, the path technically never ends. You might get answers for some things here and there, but then the second you get an answer for something, you have all these other answers, and then, you know, you may never get them all. But that's the beauty of life. You can get to the bottom of some things, but then there are a whole bunch of other things you get to the bottom to. It's like space. We answer one thing, and then a billion, literally, probably not even a billion, infinite amount of other things arise and will continue to do so, because the universe is ever expanding. However, it's this perspective of that you are stepping into right this second. In this moment, you're stepping into it, and you're changing, and your mind's changing, your lifestyle, your mindset, the way you're thinking. It's changing. And so this path that you're going on will be much easier for you to go on than it was last week, last month, last year, before this hardship. Because you have this new perspective of appreciation, of finding resolution for whatever you need in that moment, I guess. And like, it's like whatever you need in that moment, but it's not so much like, you know, I need to find resolution, or I can't, blah, blah, blah. It's just, I can find it because that's the path that I'm on. I'm on this path that will show me the way. So, Aphrodite activation, ignite, heart opening, goddess guidance. Some of you might be working with Aphrodite, or you have Aphrodite just energy kind of pouring into you a little bit right now. We're gonna get some final messages, but you guys have a lot of romantic energy, beautiful energy. You're about to be the most like physically attractive you've ever been as well. Like genuinely, like some of you might not even care about that, but like it's just what's happening. We have 222, 333, and 44. Sorry, not 444, not 3 numbers, but it's 22, 33, 44. And I'm like, okay, ascension, okay, angel numbers. I want you guys to look up 2 and 222. I want you to read all about those angel numbers. I'm giving you some homework. Same with 333 and 444. I want you to look it up and I want you to remember them. You might see some of those numbers soon, or you may have already seen them around. Any last messages, Spirit? If we don't have any cards getting thrown out, I'll just split the deck in 3 turns. Thank you. Any last messages? No last messages. Okay, guys, one more. Just one more. I'll just get one more for perspective. Yeah, thank you, Spirit. That's what I thought. It's happening. It's happening. A new you. Patience. Patience. I know it's annoying to hear patience. It's like, yeah, I know. Patience. I've been patient. But I don't think that, like, you're even kind of feeling that energy. Maybe you are sometimes, you know, we're human, we're in this 3D, but you're not lingering in a feeling of impatience or, like, something like that. You're moving on. Because you want to. You don't want to be weighed down by anger, okay? You just don't. Pink rose petals. Blessings, gratitude, joy. Sweet. That's a sweet card. Blessings, gratitude, joy. You're able to embrace these feelings, these blessings, these feelings of gratitude and joy easier than you have in a really long time, maybe ever. And it's because of this transformation. There's just so much pink and lightness in these readings, and there's just so much self-love happening. Self-love, self-compassion, love for your friends. Swan medicine, adaptability, confidence, focus, gracefulness. You know, you're graceful in your growth, and you've transformed. You have transformed. Even if maybe there are things that you feel are just like, oh, I haven't changed this. You know, I want to change blah blah blah. You have changed so much. You change every day. You change every hour. Every decision you make, you change, right? And so for some of you, it might be helpful to look back on just, you know, who were you last week? Some of you journaling, maybe like this could be a good time to start journaling so you can see a progression of your mindset even throughout a week and see, oh my gosh, like I was totally different from even yesterday, right? You never know. So yeah, that's the message that we have for today. Thank you for joining me. If this resonated for you, definitely let me know. If you're interested in any private readings, I am now offering them just in the description down below. You can check out my website, see which reading works best for you. But yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Okay, guys? Thanks for joining me. Bye.